Hello YouTube, this is thesupremehaus here with a match in the standard tier against a player named Ice Blue Dragon. And this was a pretty decent match, pretty decent length, wasn't too long, not too short, one of those, good matches. It wasn't like, oh, it's not long enough for, or it's, meh, that was a little too long. Not, you know what I mean. It was like a good length, I think, at least. So, let's just get this match started. Again, it was in OU tier, so let's go. I'm going to lead off with Wash You, my Rotom Wash, and he leads off with a Heatran. And obviously, he's going to fear the Hydro Pump, so I'm going to go for a Volt Switch, because that's what I can do, because I saw that he didn't have any Ground-type pokes, so I know the Volt Switch will work, and that is good. And I'm going to Volt Switch off on this Porygon 2 out into my Breloom, because Breloom is a Breloom. And Gongo, if you're watching this, please comment on my Breloom, because I'm using a Breloom now, which is good. And I like this Breloom. It trolls stuff with its, like, speedy, focus punchy, substitute-y, leech seedy nonsense that just annoys the crap out of people. So I go for the substitute, hoping that he doesn't have the Ice Beam, because if he doesn't have that, I don't really know what he can do to me. But he does have the Ice Beam, which is unfortunate, so I was hoping to get up a free sub, but I didn't. So I'm just going to go for the Spore and put it to sleep. And then next turn, I'm going to go ahead and get my sub up, which is good, and Spore is an obnoxious move. It's like sleeping 100% of the time, which just annoys the crap out of me when it's getting used against me, but I have so much fun using it against other people. It completely makes one of their pokes pretty much worthless unless they wake up, like, right away, which that doesn't usually happen. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my sub out on his switch into Dragonite, and I hope he doesn't have the Fire Punch. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up the Leech Seed. If he did have the Fire Punch, I would have had to switch, but he has the Earthquake, and that's what he goes for on me. So either he was predicting something, or that was his just most powerful move against Breloom. So I'm going to go ahead and stay in and go for a sub, seeing that he was faster than me. I know I'll be able to take an Earthquake if he goes for that again. And, just hoping he was banded. But obviously, if he was banded, it would be doing a little bit more than, 25-ish%. And I'm going to go ahead and set up my other sub, which is good, because now I can focus punch his face and recover almost back to full with Poison Heal and Leech Seed stuff. And he's almost dead after this focus punch and the Leech Seed damage, which is good, because that's a big threat out of the way. And I noticed beforehand that he had 3 Dragon-type Pokemon on his team. So Rotom Wash is going to be, just a note, Rotom Wash is going to be a very useful poke for this match. So, expecting another Earthquake, and knowing that I have Levitate, and obviously won't take any damage from that, I'm going to switch in, but he goes for an Outrage, which, I was not expecting, because he'd been going for the Earthquakes before that. So, he goes for the Outrage, and I don't take that very well, but I outspeed him, obviously, because I'm Choice Scarfed, and I hit HP Ice him to the face, and that is good. And, yeah, I always carry HP Ice on my Rotoms, because it's just such a useful move, and I'm hoping that Scizor won't have Pursuit here, so I'm going to switch out into Layden, which is a Greek mythology reference, because I'm a Greek noob, or Greek whatever, not noob, I'm not a noob, I'm non-Greek noobish, if that makes any sense at all. So, to get the Intimidate, because I'm a bulky mince, and he's going to go for a Swords Dance, so he's only at +1 after the Intimidate, though, and that is okay for me, because he's just going to go for the Bullet Punch, and I could have taken him out with my Flamethrower, because Layden breathes flames all over people, and they die. So, he's going to go out into his own Mence, and I see that he does not have the Intimidate, so this is probably an offensive Mence, and I'm going to, because it'll have the Moxie otherwise, and I'm going to Protect to see what he's going to do, and he goes for a Dragon Claw, so yeah, it definitely confirms my thoughts that it's an offensive Mence, and if the Moxie ability didn't before, it pretty much did, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to go out into Lord Crump, because that's the name of a Paper Mario character from Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, and, he was an X-Naut, and, that was the main bad guys in Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, so the X-Nauts, Megaroth has this giant, X across his face. Lord Crump was an X-Naut. Lord Crump. Get it? Yeah, I have, a bunch of random references on this team, which is really weird, because I don't do that very much. But I'm going to send him in to take the Dragon Claw like a boss, and I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks, because, Stealth Rocks are good. So, I'm going to switch out a Lord Crump and into Flippin' Shroom, knowing that he's not going to go for the Ice Beam, because I resist it, and also he's asleep, so even if he woke up, it wouldn't really matter. So, yes, so I go on to my Breloom, and that is good, and I'm going to set up my substitute, I believe, on this turn, which is always nice. And yeah, now I'm behind a sub, and this Mence really doesn't have much to do to me now that I'm behind the sub, at least. Because I'll be able to take that Stone Edge that he misses, haha, because Stone Edge is so unreliable. And if Stone Edge is his best move to hit me with, then I'll obviously be able to control this thing pretty easily, because I resist the Stone Edge, and yeah, I resist it, so it won't do that much. And I'm behind the sub now, and he's leech seeded, so he's definitely going to die, because I can just focus punch this thing, and then that is always good, always a good thing to do. Focus punch things. And then his leech seed damage, let's see, I can't remember, does it kill him off or not? It does, that's nice. And now my Breloom gets HP back, and another PO glitch. I don't have 0 HP. This is like exactly like the time when I was using Q, my little subseeding Whimsicott. I wonder if it's just subseeding. What is this nonsense, this shenanigans? Like, there's like glitches for subseeders or something that gives them 0 HP even though they don't. So I will not be able to tell you how much damage is left for that Breloom to take. I really won't now, which is kind of sad because PO just glitches it, and that's kind of stupid. I don't know why. So I'm gonna switch out into my Horny Devil, or it's Horned Devil, but it should be Horny because that sounds better. I don't know why I didn't name it Horny. So I'm gonna take the Flamethrower easily from that Heatran, expecting it to be a specially based Heatran. And I'm going to go ahead and go for the Surf on it, just in case he stays in, but he doesn't. He goes on to Haxorus. And yes, I have Surf, because I have Toxic, and I don't see any reason to have Scald and Toxic. I might as well just have Surf. He's going to go for the Dragon Dance, and I go for Toxic and miss. And that is not good. Because now Haxorus is at, like, decent speed, and obviously, like, 147 base attack or something ridiculous like that. It's going to be able to rip through my team, and I'm going to live the Dragon Claw, which is good that he had Dragon Claw instead of Outrage. If he would have Outrage, I would have died. And I live that and get the Toxic off on him, which is what I was hoping to do before. If I would have gotten it the turn before, I'd be able to recover and I think take one more Dragon Claw, but I don't. So I'm going to switch out, hoping to take the Dragon Claw pretty nicely, and I do, because Lord Crump's a boss. But, obviously he's probably just going to go ahead and go for the Earthquake to kill me off this turn, which is not so good, because I'm going to die. Yeah, and I just decided to fodder out Lord Crump because it wasn't that useful. It's mostly a Stealth Rock lead, and then it has, like, Bullet Punch, Meteor Mash, and Ice Punch, or something else like that. I don't know. So I'm going to send out Layden because I need to get the attack lowered on this thing, and I can also kind of protect stall this guy, which is always good. It's never bad. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that Protect, and that is good, because he's just going to get hurt by the Toxic, and he doesn't see the Protect coming, so he just goes for the Dragon Claw, and that's always good. So, yeah, and he gets back his lefties, which doesn't really matter, because the Toxic is doing, like, a lot more than lefties is recovering back at this point. And I'm going to switch out Layden now, and go into my Scizor to take the, Dragon Claw, and Bullet Punch its face in, which I probably should have done before, but I just wanted to play safe to make sure that I would be able to live, you know, get the Intimidate on him and make sure that Bullet Punch would kill him off. So now, obviously, Bullet Punch will be killing him off, and that's what I'm going to do, and go for that, and he's dead, which is always good. Because it's, like, when I was a little kid, I used to call scissors Scizors, because I was stupid. So, like, also when I found, like, Scizor, you know, I was like, oh, it's Scizor, or something like that, I don't know, so I called him, or Scizor, yeah, Scizor, so I named it Scizor because it holds fond memories for me. So he's gonna go for the Flamethrower, and that's okay because I switch into my Horny Devil to take it, and hoping that he won't have anything better to hit me, I'm gonna stay in, and go for the Recover. But he does, and that's too bad because I die. But he only has 2 pokes left, and I know I can threaten this thing out or kill it with Wash U and Hydro Pump its face, and that is good. So he's Hydro Pumped, and he's going down, and he's dead, and that's awesome. And I have 4 pokes left to his 1, so obviously this is pretty much a good game, because he has a Sleeping Porygon, which is still alive. Porygon 2, or Sleeping Porygon 2, whatever. It's so bulky, it's just, ugh. It's really good, I like them, because I used the one with, like, the Bolt Beam, and then that against Life Orb Plusle, where I, like, traced his ability, and I couldn't figure out why he was not switching out, and then I felt really stupid. I was like, oh, okay, well. Anyways, yeah, okay, so I'm going to switch out into Scizor and just easily take him out with the superpower now, which is good. And that will be a good game, Ice Blue Dragon, and yeah, comment on what you'd like to see more of, like which tier you want to see me play, because I'll play any of them. Or if you want to see me play like 3rd and 4th gen, but those matches are kind of hard to get because not very many people play 3rd and 4th gen on PO, so it takes forever to get a match. But I could set one up with one of my buddies or something like that, so that would be cool. And yeah, comment on that. And obviously, subscribe to me because subscribers are always good. Yeah, subscribers are always good. Yeah, okay. Thank you guys. Haas is out. Peace.